Everything the light touches is our kingdom.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night!
To infinity and beyond!
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep! It's morphin' time!
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
What are you smiling about? Dude, I almost had you.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
I am king of Wakanda.
I am Groot.
I am Iron Man.
I am William Wallace. I am Batman.
This is the Poi and Soy podcast.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Welcome back to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. You are here with the boys of Poi and Soy on our post-credit segment. Post-credits is the segment where we go through movies, TV, entertainment, and all the good stuff in between. I am your co-host, Nolan Chang. With me, as always, are my longtime friends and co-hosts, Jalen Holston, Kiona McKee. Say what's up to the crowd.
What's up, you fucks?
What's going on, crowd? You got Rivals Season 3 dropping today with Jean Grey finally in the mix. She's
It's
here.
game
The
day.
Phoenix has
We've
arrived.
seen a certain movie and coming out soon with
It's Superman Day as well for all of you Superman goers. So I will make my eyes bleed for content for you because I love all of you.
the people
I am going to go
listen
see
to
it
us.
today to knock it out, get it done. Probably have a review soon. It's gonna
Right
be
on.
great.
Before we get started, we got to give a big shout out to our partners at W Energy, our favorite energy supplement in powdered form, coming in beautiful flavors and tubs. Gets you through the day, whether you're doing working out, you're working from your desk, doing some chores, doing some errands, maybe you're gaming. You got whatever you need, W's got your back. So go to w.gg or the app W Energy and use the promo code POINSOY, POINSOY, for 10% off your order. You're not only supporting them as a business, you're supporting us as content creators, and we appreciate you all for it. I got a couple things to show you guys. Nicole went to Frankincense. I don't remember. Keanu, you've been to Frankincense, correct?
I have.
Jalen, next time you out here, we're gonna have to, because I know you're gonna nerd the fuck out there. But she went there randomly with one of her friends, and she brought back these cool little frames, just little Deadpool. Trying to get the glare.
Nice.
Little Mando. Little Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Was this somebody's like commission art
then-
frames that she bought?
I'll have to ask her because she said she just saw them and they were cool. But it looks like the style looks all very uniform. So I'm assuming it's a specific artist. But just gonna have
I was
to
going to say, it
find
looked
a
like
spot.
definitely not like, mainstream comic art, but like somebody clearly is talented and made some things to sell.
yeah,
That's
that
very
was
awesome.
Old school Ninja Turtles. Wow, I
Yeah,
like
that
that.
wasn't like new age stuff. They
Absolutely.
look like the
Yeah.
80s. Let's go, baby.
I like
go.
it.
I'm just gonna have to find a spot in the office to put it where it won't.
I was just saying, your background is getting so.
There's so many nerd
like,
things.
Some of the things is just like, hey, I don't know where to put it, so I'm gonna put it. Also, I've been nerding out at Happy Meals.
What is that?
Oh my god.
So-
Oh my god.
So anyone out there listening, like McDonald's is doing this thing with the Happy Meals where it's like 21 collectible things where you can make your own like McDonald's, and this is like the ordering kiosk.
Oh wow!
You know, I'm just
Actually, that's kind of cool that they're bringing back the whole.
I'll have to send you a picture of what they're like offering as the pieces because there's a lot of things and like the meals are inexpensive. Like I got 3 Happy Meals for like $12 and it fills me up exactly what I need.
This is
And I
why
get
you can't
toast.
give big kids adult money. You know what I mean? Like,
And it's health conscientious because I can just get water bottles with it and apple slices. You know?
wow.
No?
Yeah.
Just
Why would you even order a Happy Kids meal if you're ordering that?
because I don't know. I just want the toy. Anyway, let's get started with the docket today. We got a lot of news nuggets. Jalen and I were in the fantastic state of Florida last week, so we weren't able to get a recording going. So we got a lot of information that we're going to cover today, as well as a grip
I hate
of
Florida.
trailers. It was crazy.
I hate Florida.
Randomly sunny,
so much.
all of a sudden a rainstorm. A lightning struck 100 yards
It's a
from my
bloody
resort.
swamp, mate.
and
It's just
it
a
was the-
swamp.
It was the loudest crack of lightning I've ever heard. And
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was.
His whole team almost got nuked by lightning.
But starting off on our news docket, we do have some somber news that we do have to share with you guys. Actor Michael Madsen passed away at the age of 67, and actor Julian McMahon passed away at the age of 56 after a fight with cancer. I haven't really looked too deep into Michael Madsen's passing, if there was anything specifically that caused it. But he is well known for being a part of Quentin Tarantino films, Reservoir Dogs, obviously Kill Bill volumes. And Julian McMahon is he's been around a hot minute. He was in a lot of shows like Nip Tuck. He was in Charmed. He was obviously the first iteration of Doctor Doom in the early 2000s, Fantastic Four. Gentlemen, any thoughts on the passing of these two acting legends?
I mean, it's never a good time to be losing people. That's for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they always come in threes, so it's always one of those like, what's going on here, man? This is terrible. I don't like this feeling, but we'll see how the rest of that goes and whatnot. But unfortunate thoughts out to the family and friends of both those individuals.
Yeah, just gonna ditto everything that Jay said. Just sad times for us.
Yes. Well, moving on to some more news, I guess is the best way to put it. Segue it. The Odyssey coming out. Christopher Nolan.
Jeez,
it's gonna be a huge movie. But randomly, maybe not randomly, Cosmo Jarvis, who was originally slated to premiere in this film, not premiere, but to be in this film, has left the project due to scheduling conflicts. Now, obviously, us in the movie kind of know that scheduling conflicts is not always because of scheduling conflicts, especially when they've already started filming. So it seems kind of suspicious.
Well, weird.
But because they all look the same, Logan Marshall Green is now taking his place in the role. Any thoughts on this? Do you think that it is truly scheduling conflict, or maybe there is something a little bit more nefarious going on in the background?
It's Wolverine. He's going to be the Wolverine.
He's going to be the Wolverine.
He's going to be the brand new Wolverine,
take, my friend.
Hey, after seeing Shogun,
that's what I'm saying.
That's
what I'm saying. I'm like, hey, you can pull it off. I'm just saying.
And he's already, part of Japan.
Scheduling conflicts. You know what I mean? Doomsday's already being filmed right now. I'm just saying.
That's it. No,
that's all.
That's it. That's all you're saying.
Right, cool,
that's all you're saying.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
The next news story we got: Warner Brothers has paused development on Doug Liman's underwater thriller called Deeper, which is starring Tom Cruise and Ana de Armas. This was due to concerns about having the budget at $275 million. Cruise is now shopping the film elsewhere. Are we, we've talked about Tom Cruise and what he brings to the film industry and what he brings to the theater going experience. Is he just kind of like getting a little too much air in that head of his on like every film he does now needs to balloon the budget? Or do you think maybe this is fair game and he has the right to kind of go after it?
I mean, I think it's like a half and half almost. Like, why are you the way that you are sometimes? I think we could just make a reasonable film that isn't $400 million when you tack on like marketing and all these other crazy things. And listen, don't get me wrong. Like, everybody loved Top Gun. Everybody had a good time. I think, the last Mission Impossible was kind of, it was mid, but like it wasn't terrible, that kind of thing, whatever. But like, again, can we not just make a nice little indie pop film, something like that, something that's real solid? What happened to the Jerry Maguire days, man?
That's
what
what
are we doing? You know what I'm saying?
I want to see him get back to like just you and a camera and just talk.
some good performance, bro. Give me some good Tom Cruise.
Not that he doesn't perform well. Obviously, he's doing his thing, but Yeah,
but he won an Oscar for Jerry Maguire. Like I'm talking like let's
get back to it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like let's get back to it. You know what I mean? Like give me that Tom Cruise in the last bit of his career instead of more just like You know what I'm saying? Like, can we just get rid of the goddamn spectacle for a minute? Can we just have a regular goddamn movie?
You had me.
I almost wonder. Yeah, I was just saying. I almost wonder if it's like part of his advocacy stuff. You know what I mean? Like how he's like always trying to get people into the theaters and stuff, and trying to get like bigger budgets for like other actors and movies, all stuff. Yeah, got to be something along those lines. Also, I was gonna say earlier, I was just like, I feel like Jay would want to be in a movie with Ana De Armas called Deeper. Just
correct.
Saying.
That is 100% correct. Would commit war crimes. Just so clear.
We're saving that one for like a whole minute and a half.
Just saying.
I hope you're proud of yourself.
You're welcome.
Keone,
I'm
pervert. I'm just
spot on.
Anyways, before this goes off the rails, before we get too deep into that comment,
out here making jokes, and then he comes in with that one-liner. This guy.
Next news nugget we got. Guy Ritchie is no longer set to direct Roadhouse 2, but they are still set to do production this fall.
Damn it.
How are we feeling about that? Like, I had a lot more faith in the sequel.
Honestly.
But now that Guy Ritchie's kind of departing, how do we feel? Is there a director that maybe you guys are interested in kind of seeing take the role?
Michael Bay.
Holy crap.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. This is the same director that also gave us Bad Boys 2 at one point in time, is it not?
That's true.
You're telling me you couldn't figure out some kind of Roadhouse vibes?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Turn up the set pieces a little bit here and there.
A couple of those sun flare shots. You know what I mean?
A little lens flare.
There's lens flare.
In the Roadhouse.
I mean, yeah, I think he's due
fun.
for like a resurgence of like quality.
He's doing another
action
Transformers
films.
movie right now.
I was just like crossover Transformers.
Boom.
Yeah.
He starts teaching the bots how to fight.
Holy cow.
Yeah,
the robots become kung fu bots, and then they just
kung fu bots.
Roadhouse everybody in the face.
Well, that all right.
Be close.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm digging the Michael Bay shout out though. I think that's in his wheelhouse. That'll definitely something.
I think Bad Boys 2.
The tone
that's
of Roadhouse is why I think Michael Bay would be like a cool, interesting, off the a not meta pick, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But
Fair
I mean,
enough.
other ones that could go in there, just I think the guy that did all the Extraction films with Chris Hemsworth would be fun. He clearly can direct some action. Yeah, no, there was the Extraction 3 because it was the Russos for the first two, but I think the third one was a different guy that he's been working with. He's supposed to help him with Thor 5 apparently at some point, so we'll see about that. But no, that guy I think could probably do some action, or even the Russo brothers I think would be funny to just kind of pop into a Roadhouse
they're
sequel.
a little busy right now.
They might be a little busy, but maybe one of them can sneak off and do it, and the other one can stay home.
Let's just let them focus.
Let's get them both. These two are good. Both. Okay.
Let's make sure they're stuck together. Just focus on
not divide their attention.
Yeah. But we'll see.
Who directed the first Blade? Did anybody remember that guy?
Oh, you mean like I was like Blade has not even come out?
No, I'm just saying like you just get that guy. That'd be fun.
Who did the first Blade? I'll look that up for you.
Yeah, good. Where's my guy in the chair here? I'm just thinking like kind of guys that get like the tone of what Roadhouse was back in the day.
Stephen Norrington, but it was written by David Goyer.
Fair enough,
right?
Fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough. That's pretty easy when David Goyer's got your script and it's just like follow the shot selection he's written.
Darn
you
tootin'.
Can't really go wrong.
Darn tootin'. All right. Well, the next news nugget we got. We've been talking about the castings thus far for the live-action Street Fighter film. One of the rumored ones was Walton Goggins as M. Bison. But unfortunately, I guess he was not someone who wanted to take the role, so they have cast David Dastmalchian, known as Polka Dot Man in the most recent Suicide Squad. He's been in a lot of random smaller roles, but he's been around a minute, and I believe at least he has the acting chops, just given what I've seen from him on screen. How do we feel about him being cast as M. Bison in the live-action Street Fighter film?
Yes.
Not everyone at once.
I mean, they're really just not missing. You know what I mean? They're just constantly getting the right choices for these characters. But again, I just like what is the vibe and the tone going to be? I need to see some trailer footage or like a teaser.
I feel like this is going to be a really campy, over the top.
Are they going for it? Are they really just going to get after it? Because like that, I think is at this point with this cast, like clearly we're going to go for pretty much a 1-to-1, and we're going to put some really goofy and zany stuff on screen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jesus, I guess the next point is you're going to get Sydney Sweeney to be Cammy for some reason, because why not? You know what I mean? Like, that's just where I feel like this is going. You know what I mean?
And no one would be upset.
Zero people would be upset. I would not be
I was going to say, I love that casting, honestly. If there was somebody to replace Walton Goggins, I mean, I feel like he's like a pretty good, like, out there character actor, you know what I mean? I was like,
he does everything.
As far as how do you say his last name? Dosmalchian?
Dosmalchian or Dosmalchian? I don't know.
He's just fantastic in like sort of that weird offbeat role. I feel like he could play like a really, because as soon as I saw it, I was thinking like I could just see the laugh. I can just imagine him in like sort of that weird maniacal type of feel for the character. So I kind of like that pick. If they were going to go with anybody but Walton Goggins. So excited, man. I don't know why, but I'm kind of excited for the Street Fighter film.
Right on. I am super hyped. I believe another side note for it, Cody Rhodes from pro wrestling is in talks to also be Guile. So we'll kind of see if that kind of comes to fruition. But we'll keep our fingers crossed that this thing, hits the ground running. Next news nugget we got. Neil Druckmann will not be returning for The Last of Us Season 3. He has decided to step away to focus on his work with Naughty Dog Studios. Craig Mazin is still writer for the episodes of next season. But I wanted to get your guys' take. Keone, obviously, you've played the games. Jalen, you've kind of seen the cutscenes and it had everything kind of connected with that. How do we feel about Neil Druckmann leaving the project? Obviously, it seems like it's on good terms. It's nothing suspicious under the table or anything like that. There was some divisiveness in the most recent season on how things were handled. Do you think that this is for the best, or is it going to be kind of a weird, off-putting switch if they have someone come in as the new showrunner?
Yeah, same.
I guess it really just depends on, it kind of depends on where you leave off when you have a transition like this in a show. It's like, where did you leave off? And then how quickly can they get the new crew in to kind of look over everything and try to make the new stuff? Like, it's really about timing of the transition and when all that goes down when we're talking about swapping out showrunners. And also they got to make sure that the new people that come in are going to like kind of drop their ego a bit, because what happens sometimes is you get new showrunners come in and the tone in the show just completely flips to something that's not. You know what I mean? So I hope they did a good vetting process with this, and then it's a smooth transition. That's really the best outcome when you have this kind of a flip. But otherwise, sounds like standard Hollywood. This kind of stuff happens all the time. Not a big deal. People move on to new projects or they find creative, outlets somewhere else. But again, timing of when it happened versus like the egos of the people coming in and making sure that the new showrunner is really established, like this is what our show is and all this other stuff. As far as like the directors, the cast, the crew, like the rest of the background work that isn't the show running people. So you got to make sure all that stuff is still in the box, if you will, with the show.
Yeah, I would say kind of to follow up on that, I feel like my biggest worry is that he listened to the criticisms of like the negative Nancys out there who just really hated Bella Ramsey. And that's why he decided to leave the show. At the end of the day, I don't think that anything as far as the show is concerned was done incorrectly.
Yeah.
I mean, all the main scenes were in there. There wasn't anything like weirdly changed to kind of fit the show. All the small moments that I feel like people are making such a big deal out of, like to me, just didn't really change anything. If anything, I really liked how they, presented the emotionality throughout the entire thing. So like stuff like with her reaction to the baby and like that to me is like okay. like wow. I was like, I can't believe they made her react happily. Like, what's wrong with him? Like it just felt like there was a lot of hate surrounding this show, specifically around Bella Ramsey. To me, I mean, I had no issue with anything that happened within the show. It wasn't really anything that like was world changing as far as like how he presented everything. But I mean, to me, it just felt like the noise just got so loud that he just kind of had to step away. And that's kind of my fear with like anybody who decides to take on the project is like, will they come in with that fear? So I'm hoping that whoever does come in,
do they have thick skin? You know,
exactly. I mean, they should have very The Last of Us type skin. So I'm really hoping that they can kind of come in and do it right, because I mean, it's kind of sad that we've gotten to this point where people just leave a project that he was so passionate about, was always talking about how he was a big fan of the game itself. So yeah,
absolutely.
Boo you, internet.
Boo.
Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy.
It is, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't blame him for leaving. I do feel like, you know, this probably might have been maybe a business decision on his part, because he wants to still be a part of Naughty Dog. So it's like, if there is sort of divisive things online, he doesn't want it to bleed over onto the video game side of things and how he handles stuff there. So could be just kind of like hey, I'm going to step away before anything kind of goes overboard, but we'll see who kind of steps into the role. The next news nugget we got, David Zaslav, the CEO of Warner Brothers, has reportedly dismissed the development on the Black Superman movie. Now, we talked about this, I want to say, a couple years ago, that it was still going to be coming out. But per David Zaslav, he said that
it's just a Superman movie, Nolan. Come on.
What?
I'm just saying.
What?
Black Superman movie.
All right. Cool. But he nixed the idea of the film due to it being too woke. How do we feel about this? Obviously, there's the one side of it where, you know, it could be taken as that, but if you're, you know, just like a ninny and just, you know, don't want
ninny muggins, yeah, exactly.
Ninny muggins,
don't worry,
you know,
Jay, I got you. This is stupid. I don't even understand why we're worried about the wokeness of this. There's nothing in that character that is like specifically white or black. Like, what are we talking about here? Come on.
We're talking about an alien, mind you, that fell from the sky into the middle of Kansas, or in some iterations into the middle of Russia. Okay, so like, what? Who cares if he's black, white, pink, purple? It doesn't matter. You could get an Indian guy to play Superman and really set some people off at the current climate of things that are going on. The reality of it, of having it be that label and all this kind of stuff, like that version of the Superman character, the Black Superman, air quote, that they're talking about, has his own run and his own lore and his own history. So like, you can veer off and do something completely different from what is going on with Kal-El and the main DCU. And as far as like what's all that would be like entitled to, like, I feel like this really didn't get to James Gunn, because this seems like something he would do just to spite people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this is a project he would greenlight instantly just to be like, to everybody that's like somewhat racist and bigoted toward how characters are supposed to be and that kind of stuff, because that's kind of his personality, low-key. So yeah, I think that's hilarious that it's too woke is the reason that they're like, we can't have a colored Superman running around out there. That's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? That's like, what are you talking about here? That's crazy.
Obviously, yeah, this is something from David Zaslav, and he, so far in taking the role of CEO at Warner Brothers, has been taking some big hits in the right ways, positive, like making things kind of actually more productive for the company and having things mesh well. Do we think that this is just, you know, something small he just wanted to kind of move on from, and then maybe it was just the way he worded it probably was just not his best day in the office? Or is this just something, you know, are we looking to potentially see more?
Slide him that pass.
Yeah, we're going to give him a pass.
Yeah.
I'll slide him the pass on that one, but also, like, from at least the early reviews that I've seen come out from some outlets, that's too woke, but you literally were very blatant in your messaging with your current Superman film and immigration during this current climate in the United States of America.
Also, did you guys see that White House post?
David, my boy. Come here. I talk to you for a second? That's like, what are we doing? Come on, man. But I'll still give you a pass.
Fair enough. As long as we're all on the same board, then.
Yeah, it's fine.
The next news nugget. Lucasfilm, they still have the IP, and it makes sense that they want to keep running with it. Indiana Jones is reportedly going to be rebooted. In what manner?
God.
With who? Unsure. Fan choices have picked 2 people thus far. Chris Evans and Glen Powell. Kind of on the nose. Makes sense that these 2 would be on the forefront of being an Indiana Jones-esque character, I guess. My only question to you guys is, it's not a matter of if, it's going to be a matter of when. And if when, who would you like to see step into that role?
Well, they're like 7 years too late, one, because it should have just been Chris Pratt instantly as soon as he made the first Jurassic World film. Like, he at that point in time, he was the right age for it. He had enough, like, musculature and all those kinds of things, and he very much exuded that kind of charisma that Harrison Ford brought to the role whenever he was doing those films. So, like, they're 7-10 years too late, for one. So I think this is way overblown. 2, luckily, I think Chris Pratt is still in decent shape from what I can see and hear. And like he's not,
kind of ebbs and flows, but he's back into some like his workout videos for the Terminal List. Is that the right show? Yeah,
I think that's it. Yeah, I mean he's still in pretty good shape. He's not overly old. I think he's only just now getting into his 40s or something, right? Like he's like 41, 42 maybe.
Continue.
I was just waiting on an age confirmation. That's all. To where he can still crank out a trilogy or so if they really wanted to, or do 10 of them.
He's 46.
46. So he's in his mid 40s. So it's not like he's in his 50s by any means.
You know what?
He still looks good. You know what I mean?
I just looked it up as well. Harrison Ford was 41 when he starred in Temple of Doom.
Well, I mean, there you go. So he's not really that far off the cuff. I think personally he still looks fairly like young. You could obviously with makeup and all that good stuff, he's gonna look better on screen. So like you can still get Chris Pratt to come in there and do the role. I don't think Glen Powell or Chris Evans really fit there's that aura that Harrison had that I really don't think another actor has had except for Chris Pratt in the last 20 years when it comes to like thinking about who could really come in and be Indy. And I think just the way that Chris Pratt can do humor, the way he can handle action clearly. And again, it wasn't until I saw him in Jurassic World and that kind of role of, boxing him into like the pseudo action guy. Because even in Guardians, he really didn't have like that many crazy
not the
super
heroic
stunt moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's a very different character from that. It was really like that movie showcased a lot of the things, and like every time he's running away from a dinosaur, if you cue up the Indiana Jones theme, you're like, oh, that's Indy. He's just like in the movie. So that to me is my diehard pick. I get the Glen Powell, but like I think he's just a little overhyped right now. I think it's more of like a Glaze thing than anything else. I don't really see a whole lot from him from a performance standpoint. That'd be like, yeah,
also
that's
like I feel like with
Indiana
Glen Powell,
Jones.
I don't want like because Indiana Jones is confident, but he's not a cocky character. I feel like Glen Powell just kind of carries that cocky. No offense to Glenn, he's probably a nice guy.
He's always this guy from the Top Gun, like no matter what. Yeah,
exactly.
Like good for you. You did a movie with Sydney Sweeney. Like I feel like that's the Glaze and overreaction of like that movie on Netflix was like,
for you, man.
like good for you, bro.
You're
Like
happy.
top 10. You grabbed her ass in the movie. Congratulations. You can sleep at night. Okay. But like that's really about like all I got for Glen Powell. Like and Chris Evans, you know what I mean? He's still gonna be Captain America forever. That's just what you know what I mean? He's just never not gonna be Captain America. You're gonna be like, oh Steve, what are you doing in this romantic comedy? That's weird. Like I'm sorry, like you're just too iconic in that role now. So that to me is just a bit too hard to pull off. I don't know that and I think for him it'd be very difficult not to switch into that kind of Steve Rogers-esque tone if he's delivering lines, because Indy has some of those really wholesome character moments, but then he's also very brash and overconfident and all these things. So like
would it be more like in line
Chris
with Chris Evans in Gray Man?
That could be. You might be onto something there. There you go. That could be onto it.
What if you go Ryan Gosling?
Movie, it could get Ryan Gosling.
I was going to say that when I was.
Well, apparently he's Black Panther now, so that's a thing. So that's
Yeah, I've seen those pictures all over the place too. Yeah,
it's pretty wild.
You can
the
just
internet is really hanging on to it.
Who do you think could take the role?
Nope, too late. It's like I'll tell you who I don't want: Tom Holland. God,
Tom Holland. Why
Just
not?
Get away from that kid already. My
Why
gosh.
not? I think he would crush it. He already did Uncharted, and it was great. Okay, he was not the problem in that movie.
He's just too young. It's just the voice is always going to be a thing. You know what I mean? It just bothers me so much. Yeah, I was just going to say Ryan Gosling, but whatever. I don't care anymore.
Even hotter take. You call Shia LaBeouf right now, get him off the couch.
Jesus.
I'm saying, hey.
He would go method. He's like, I want to stay in the jungles of the Amazon for this film.
Saying, he was also not the issue with that film. You know what I mean? I think he would have been a great replacement.
They also left it off pretty heavy-handedly that he was supposed to take the franchise at that point in time, and then he did all the crazy stuff.
Minus all the crazy. I love Shia LaBeouf. He's such a great actor, but damn, yeah. Stop being crazy.
Would we be interested in a John Bernthal Indiana Jones?
Honestly, I would love to see him try. I think it would be a stretch for him because I don't know, if he's ever had to have that much
kind of
charisma.
his passive. I just watched The Accountant 2 on Amazon Prime. His passive aggressive kind of I'm not that confident guy. Kind of shined a little bit more in that role. I was like, I could see this kind of be like him in front of snakes. I would see that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think John Bernthal could pull off a version of Indy. I would be very interested to see how he could get that kind of I don't know what to say. I don't know how to phrase it here. Because I'm thinking back to all the performances from Harrison. It's like there are those moments where Indy has to be very kind of somewhat goofy about some things. Like he'll deliver lines in a very humorous way. So I wonder how much John Bernthal could stretch. I think it'd be fun to watch him try to push himself in that regard from a performance.
I'd agree with that.
Because we know he can handle the action. We know he can handle the scenes where he's got to be like, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the hell. Give me the Temple of Doom handbook and the around the building.
Yeah,
kind of stuff. So I think that'd be fun. Exactly, like that he would pull off very well.
No. I think you guys heard it here first. John Bernthal, Indiana Jones.
John Bernthal, Indiana Jones remake. And so help us God, if it happens, I want to check on my desk by the next Monday, okay? Whenever that announcement is, if it's on a Friday night, we want to check on our desks by that Monday because we know you're listening. This is ridiculous how many times we've manifested
so we can find it easier later. Keone, just title this "Who's the New Indiana Jones?" just so we know where we can.
I feel you. Yeah, there we go.
Also, before we move on, the last thought I had also was once again, Brandon Sklenar. He's kind of a young up and coming actor. He definitely has that kind of
film. I don't know who that is.
He was in Drop. He was the boyfriend in Drop.
Gotcha.
What was it? The one with also Blake Lively. That one.
Yeah.
And the Yellowstone spinoff. He's got that kind of country vibe to him, but he can also kind of play a very sweet, suave guy.
I like that.
Yeah. See where it goes. He's younger, so you got him for more years. Yeah.
I like that.
Moving on. Our last news nugget of the day. Now, I think we've talked about it enough about this just needs to end. And it needs to just be done with. And from the most recent video, brother looking like he ate a diesel truck. But Vin Diesel, most recently, has taken to stage with some of the cast of the Fast and the Furious franchise and has noted that there are 3 things that he demanded the studio have in this last film, which pretty much means the studio told me I can't do anything other than these 3 things, maybe. Okay. 1 was the return to Los Angeles and the street racing culture. 2, to bring in actual car racing so that it makes sense and having that be a part of the identity of this next film. And 3, bringing Brian's character back. The first 2 points, I'm on board with. I think that's something that we kind of wanted them to get back to after all the hoopla of going to space and flying off dams and, everything that's kind of taken place. The revival of resurrections of characters that should have been dead with no explanation. But bringing back Paul Walker's character, Brian, On stage was Brian's brother. Paul Walker's brother, who did the body double with the face casting over in I believe it was Fast and Furious 7.
Yep.
But is this something that is going to work? Is it going to be too much? Casting a face for a full movie is going to take some people out of it. Or are they going to do it maybe as kind of just like a nice little bonus cookie for the audience? Maybe the third act of the film, he's there helping them drive around. What are we thinking here?
I do think it's going to be more that second route that you kind of pointed out. I doubt that they're going to just have him throughout the entire film. That would be kind of rough to do. But I can't imagine it being one of those things like, I know somebody, and then you know what I mean. Like maybe the car pulls up, and then
the Skyline pulls up.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I'm like. See, like that.
Say, who can drive a Nissan Skyline painted silver with 2 pinstripes on the middle of it like an expert?
And having it on the European side of the steering.
Yes. Like that's exactly what's going to happen there.
I guarantee you, like the first act of the film's like he's going to call Mia and just be like, hey, put Brian on the phone. And you're just going to hear the voice of Brian the whole time, not even actually show him. And he's like, I'll be there. And that's it.
Well, that's the cringe and gross part to me, is like the fact that you're still even considering bringing back Brian at all after the passing of Paul Walker and that character. Like, it was a beautiful send-off what they did in that film. Like, everybody cried. We all cried.
Perfect.
It was crazy. It was a perfect send-off, and it honored what Paul Walker had done for that franchise and the legacy he had. To do this disgusting form of almost kind of reincarnation that you're able to do with technology now, because clearly, like you said, if there's like a phone call scene, you can AI Paul Walker's voice and have an entire scene of dialogue, and it won't sound terrible. You can also do like, the face swap stuff with Brian's brother being in the film for most of it, and when you put those two things together, it's not great, and I don't like that direction in Hollywood. I don't agree at all with bringing Paul Walker's character back for any capacity. I don't care if it's on stage during Broadway. I don't care if it's in a film for a scene and a half or whatever it is. Outside of maybe like the ominous, I'm looking at a picture and having a character moment thing, right? Like that kind of works in that sense. But no, like I don't know that Paul Walker would want that to occur either if we were able to ask him, because that's just not how they left it. You know what I mean? There is a beautiful thing to just know, like, his family was okay. His kids and his wife were going to be okay. They were just riding off into the sunset, quite literally, in the end of that movie. And like, that was it for Paul. Like, that was it for Brian. Like, that's all we needed. No more Mia, no more nothing. Like, we didn't need any of those characters to come back in any way. And but just at this Mia point, they did bring Mia back, which I thought was a mistake as well. Even though I get it because, that's his sister technically, but like, for me, once that relationship was established and they were doing the kids and like, they went that route, that kind of removes that character from Vin Diesel's character in my mind. So, I just, no, this is gross. This is bad. This is a very desperate cash grab type of scenario for the franchise that should have been dead probably 10 movies ago. But here we are, whatever, Vin, whatever.
I agree with everything Jay said. The only thing I was going to add is, like, I feel like storyline-wise, weren't they, like, in some weird situation with Jason Momoa? So how are they going to, like...
Are we doing aliens now in the... Like, where are we at with this thing? Can we get back to just...
The last movie...
We're on the streets.
So, a couple things happened that made no sense. Alan Ritchie double-crossed them, working with Jason Momoa. A plane with half of the family was dead or going to crash, but probably not going to die because, it's Fast and Furious. John Cena also kind of just made an appearance in the second film that he's in the series and then died. Yeah, which was unfortunate because I was like, gone. Really? Like, okay. You make him a happy, loving brother in this film, and now he's dead. So I don't understand it, but there we are. And
I don't know what's going on, and I'm sure they don't know what's going on. So we're in for a wild ride.
Yeah, I don't even understand. What is the thing gonna, like? I'm gonna fight you in your homeland, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're like somewhere completely different right now, so I don't even understand. Anyway,
but I think
they will get in shape at least a little bit.
Put down the Coronas, pick up a sparkly water. Sup?
You know what I mean? I'm like, at least
try. He was looking thick.
It's good. I mean, on top of that, it gets harder and harder to like fight scene with him in the rock. You know what I mean? It's gonna be harder to buy into him being like this guy when it's just like he's just getting kind of just. You know, we're not fat shaming here, but
he's too puffy now. Because I think he was like legit trying to like bulk it to get with the Rock in that one, in like 5 and 6. But then it just turned. That was literally like the cusp. As we
he was right there.
We just kept getting more puffy. There's no definition. It's just all puff now. It's all fluffy muscle
when the
around
gut is further out from the, you know what I mean? That's when
I don't know that we're putting on weight anymore. I think we're like just doing too much, perhaps.
Like, please put down the sandwich. Just pick up a salad.
Bust
Go
up the
for
TRT.
a walk.
All the other actors are doing it. You know what I mean?
I'm sure he's already on it.
That's even worse. I was like,
because if you don't use it correctly, you're just gonna look like a big potato. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
Anyways. You see our side of the story on this take, so let us know what you think in the comments down below. Moving on to our trailer review section of the segment. Gentlemen, we've all seen the trailers, correct?
Oh, trailers?
I've seen all, but I think maybe like
I'm just joking.
Literally all.
I hate you.
Yeah, we watch them.
The first one we got, we're going to ease into it.
What do you mean?
She Rides Shotgun. A trailer that has Taron Egerton.
I didn't see that one. No, I'm just joking.
I hate you. And a new young actress, seemingly a father who's kind of on the run doing something illegal, criminal-wise, but he has the best interests of his daughter at heart, and he wants to protect her.
It's probably drugs.
It's definitely drugs.
Or maybe he's a robber. I don't know. No,
it's drugs.
That's drugs. All right. Okay. Anyway,
look at him. Look at those tattoos. That's
synopsis
drugs.
goes: a girl marked for death must fight and steal to stay alive and learn from the most frightening man she knows, her father. It is an adaptation of a novel. Huh?
I was like, when you start getting those single tattoos in random places, drugs. You know what I mean? There's no cohesivity to like any of the things you put on your body. Like
it's an apple, but then there's a bird.
Then like a cross down the middle, like something.
And a tear for the homie.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're just going everywhere. Come on, drugs.
It will be releasing at the end of this month. I hate you guys.
I just love that it keeps the thing going.
Is that our next T-shirt? It's just drugs.
Drugs. Not even a question mark, just that period.
And then we put those random tattoos
on this shirt.
Hey, I was like, look.
And then put like a stamp on the bottom just as a joke.
That was pretty good.
Well done. You go make the shirts. Go make them. But what did you guys think of the trailer actually?
Drugs.
No, I thought it was awesome. I was shocked and awed. A bit of a plot that we've seen a lot, but I'm definitely not like bored by it. Like it looks very, very interesting. It's also interesting for him to do that kind of role because he's still a fairly youngish actor. I don't think he has any actual children, right? He doesn't have any real like fatherhood things to really pull from.
Taron Egerton is Indiana Jones.
No, that one's not gonna work for me. No, sorry.
He's a little too short. Though. That's the only thing.
I just no.
The short
this
thing
honestly gave me more vibes for him being Wolverine than anything else because like
he
had to really put on some serious like
he's
chops there.
Yeah, he's so good.
But no, he looked great in the trailer, and I think it's gonna be interesting to see honestly what the story is because like you're kind of a terrible father. Like you should probably be in prison for child endangerment if this is what's going on with your kid.
On top of the drugs, yeah.
On top of the drugs, right?
Well, I mean, the synopsis says that the daughter's actually marked for death, so he's protecting her on the run. So it's not necessarily
how does she get marked for death?
She
drugs. Like, what could this child have possibly done to be marked for death by multiple gang members?
Drugs.
Drugs. She stole drugs.
Probably
she
drugs.
burned drugs.
Yeah, she stole drugs, burned some drugs,
and then burned drugs. Yeah.
Or I bet it's one of those like she was in the wrong place, wrong time, and heard some information that she wasn't.
Or saw someone die, and she was like, "Oh no, you weren't supposed to."
Star witness. Yeah,
because this gives me drugs.
I was just gonna say this gives me like Leon the Professional vibes. I think that's kind of a fun little throwback.
Old callback.
You know what I'm saying? But I was also gonna say too is like like the little emotional scene they throw. That's the only. There's a lot they show in the trailer. I hate the trailers that keep showing too much, but I was like, I do like that they had like sort of that emotional of like, you know, you don't pick up the gun, I use it. You don't ever touch it.
I love that too.
Oh,
Oh my god,
What a good father.
I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
oh god, bless it, man. You're just. I do feel like that's a very real, like, if you're in that adrenaline moment, maybe you're like freaking out at the kid. Like,
yeah.
I could see that from like a dad's perspective. Like, you would freak out like that. So it felt very like, oh man, I don't know. That felt good.
I agree. Moving on to the next trailer, Afterburn, starring Dave
That's
Bautista.
the one I didn't get to check out.
No worries. I'll have Keanu go back. It's kind of like a post-apocalyptic mix of Army of the Dead and Death Race, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What did you think? Obviously, it's Dave Bautista kind of being in another action role. Is this something that you feel, obviously the last one he did with Mila Jovovich didn't pan out very well. Is this going to be in the same track? Or?
Yeah, I was always gonna. That's a perfect way to segue into what I was gonna say. Is like I really hate that we know that Dave Bautista has range, and they seem to keep pigeonholing him into sort of like this, 20 years ago or whatever it is, The Rock thing, where like they keep putting him in like these kind of B, like action movies. Like I really don't like that. Like eventually, I hope he gets to be in the Gears of War. And the Gears of War thing gets like this whole, gets like true professional, like great actors. And like, it's not just like some weird B movie that they make. Like, I really, really hope that he gets that budget and stuff. I don't know. Like, to me, it's only junk because I really like him as an actor, but they seemingly keep putting him in this sort of world where he's.
And it's such a weird premise. Like, solar flare has destroyed the Earth.
Yeah,
you're getting hired to go steal the original Mona Lisa.
Yeah,
okay. Like,
I mean, I thought that was the only thing I did find like a little, I guess, kind of interesting is like they're like trying to protect the culture of the world by like keeping the things that make the world whatever like unique, but
kind of Book of Eli kind of into it now.
Yeah.
You know what
That's
I mean?
Great. Actually, oh god, now you just made another comparison. That's like. Just smashed together all the movies. Yeah.
Someone chat GPT'd the script and said, if I put Death Race, Army of the Dead, and Book of Eli, what would you get? Afterburn.
Yeah.
Afterburn.
Yeah. Afterburn.
But is this something Couch Watch?
Yeah. I would probably watch it at home. Yeah, probably for sure.
Watch it at home.
Right on.
Is it getting a theater release?
Let me double check that.
I kind of hope it's
Isn't it
not.
crazy we got to keep asking that now?
Yeah.
Like 10, 15 years ago, it was just
It
like, we got to go see the
it's
movie.
Expected in 2025, so I don't even know if they've marked down a release.
Don't even know where I'm supposed to watch things anymore.
Yeah, really.
Right.
There's too
Isn't that
much.
crazy?
Yeah.
But we'll find out, won't we? Let me see.
That we will.
Indeed.
Yeah, it doesn't really say. Oh, that's not that bad. Anyways, moving on to the next trailer that we got. Next one we got is for the Eyes of Wakanda teaser. New images. It was a quick teaser. It's going to be a 4-part animated anthology series created by Todd Harris and produced by Ryan Coogler himself. Follows warriors throughout Wakandan history tasked with traveling the world to retrieve vibranium artifacts. It's going to be released at the end of August 27th on Disney+. Gentlemen, how did we feel about this?
Cannot possibly wait anymore. I need it right now. I need it yesterday. I need it 10 minutes ago. I need it 4 seconds ago. We quite clearly, whenever Ryan Coogler is doing the producing thing, we've all seen IronHeart. That means he's usually probably involved pretty deeply in the mix. Like I don't think he's slapping his name on a bunch of stuff just to slap his name on stuff. At least that's the vibe that I get from him. So clearly, going to be a great production. We're going to get to see, I think one of the stories is going to go over the very first Black Panther ever, like the OG that started all this stuff. That's supposed to kind of go through time and progress from there. And we see all these different versions of the kings of Wakanda and the ancestrals and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be great. So cannot wait. I think more Wakandan lore getting out there and being talked about is always good for the franchise, keeping that thread relevant, even after the passing of Chadwick Boseman, and just keeping that universe creative, colorful, beautiful, and alive, and being able to vary all the different stories to be told in Wakanda is fantastic. I think after Doomsday, once we get our aged up and our new T'Challa in for the universe and the current universe, we can finally progress to some stuff like the Wakanda and Atlantis war with him and Namor. Well, I guess it's not Atlantis now, right? It's Talokan, but whatever. We can kind of progress into that a little bit. There's also going to be some threads where Black Panther ends up, helping the X-Men, and you could do like the Storm, T'Challa marriage stuff still, like being able to get that casting, and obviously the genius of trying to, we didn't fully recast Chadwick Boseman, but at the end of Black Panther 2, we obviously quite saw there is a new T'Challa in the main timeline for the MCU. So being able to maybe time displace that and get, an actual actor in there to carry the mantle at some point is clearly what the goal of Doomsday and Secret Wars is supposed to be. So we'll figure all that out, obviously, after those two movies. But just getting more Wakanda lore out and present is fantastic, because there is a lot of history there from Jack Kirby and Stan Lee from when they made that universe. So, 10 out of 10. I need it now.
Yeah. With all those takes, I think it's funny that the meme is going around that everybody thinks that LeBron James is in the trailer just because of that guy with the beard.
Yes.
Yeah,
like everybody.
Every guy with a beard is LeBron James.
What kind of guy? What were you going to say?
With a beard.
What are you going to say?
It looked like you were about to say something else.
Yeah.
You're like, because every guy.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, you guys know what I mean.
Oh, my God.
I was only going to say, I love the animation style. I keep hoping they pump out more of these, because the animation stuff on Disney Plus is just top tier. So I can't wait for this series to drop.
Yeah.
Hey.
They got it going.
Hey.
Sorry, I was talking to Ana De Armas.
Oh, you're talking to me.
Anyways, the next trailer we got, Project Hail Mary, based off the novel that came out in 2021. Ironically, Nicole is reading this book right now for like her little social book club she's doing, and she was like, "Oh my God, I just saw the trailer." I was like, "Oh, now you're watching trailers."
Now you want to be watching trailers. Now we want to be playing the game.
So it's nice that we'll have a movie that we can both go to and enjoy thoroughly. But
Nice.
It is a science fiction novel based in the near future, and it centers on a school teacher turned astronaut, Ryland Grace, who's going to be played by Ryan Gosling, who wakes up from a coma afflicted with amnesia. And he gradually remembers that he's being sent out 12 light years from Earth to find the means of reversing a solar dimming event that could cease the extinction of humanity. Obviously, the trailer didn't give too much away. Obviously, that he's just confused on where he is. He's disheveled. He's trying to figure out what's going on. It seems like there's going to be extraterrestrials brought into this in some form. But what did you guys think of this trailer?
I was only going to say, my first reaction was, wow, I feel like the opposite of what you just said, that this trailer gave up way too much.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not the meat and potatoes of it.
Yeah, I know. But I will say, though, to bounce off of that, though, because you just dropped in the amnesia thing, I literally didn't even understand that part of the trailer. So, I don't know if they mentioned it. I don't know. The trailer was quick. So anyway, I was like, didn't even know that that's why he was confused. I thought it was just purely like sort of
probably like what's it called, cryo sleep kind of thing.
That's what that's exactly, because that's exactly what I was thinking more, is like, oh, he just woke up from his whatever and he's confused in that sense. But I mean, that was the only thing I had. My only complaint was like, I feel like I watched the entire movie in the trailer just because it just went from this to this, and kind of feels like that's exactly how it's going to start, where it's like him confused and then it flashes back like 10 years ago and it's like him talking about whatever, and then the whole alien interaction thing felt like I was just like, maybe you didn't even need to show that part, because that would have been a cool thing to see in theater, especially for somebody who has never read the book. But yeah, I mean, all things told, it looks really, really fun. I don't know what it is, something about space movies, they're just always not Fast and Furious in space, but, normal space movies that, are supposed to be in space. For some reason, it's fun. I don't know why, because
it is.
Maybe it's because I hate the idea of being in space. So, like, I would not want to be ever in space at all. So it's like the movie concept of space is always pretty fun for me. So, yeah, it looks really cool. Ryan Gosling looks like he's doing the Ryan Gosling thing. You know what I mean? It's just annoying how he just looks fantastic. Big beard, no beard, little bit beard. Like it doesn't matter.
Baby
You know what I
beard.
mean? Yeah,
Scruff.
it's annoying. So you win. All right, Ryan Gosling. Damn.
You can do whatever you want.
I know.
Maybe like Indiana Jones. Or
I just want to say, it's like, which was my take that you took, whatever.
Sorry.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing it up again.
Not Keone. Jalen, thoughts on the trailer?
I'm kidding. Thank you.
I loved it, honestly. I thought it was a very interesting kind of idea. I think it's going to be a lot of like current person is amnesia, then we're going and telling the story through flashback stuff. So I think it's a lot of back and forth, kind of that kind of thing. That's at least narratively how I think would make the most sense versus trying to end the movie where he's in space doing, or like trying to rush through all that. I think you're going to get a lot more of a performance after he's starting the film there in this space, and we're kind of backtracking on how we got here into this space, and we can progress the plot forward.
Yeah,
all those kinds of things. So I think that's probably my guess on how it's going to be set up. I think it's a very interesting concept because, like, I'm sorry, there's no amount of like real world application where somebody working in education is going to get talked into going to space. Like, they don't pay you enough for the bare minimum of what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, have you seen microbiology?
Voluntold to go to goddamn space for 11 years. You're out of your fucking mind.
Especially by yourself, nonetheless. Like,
yeah, like,
you're
out of your mind.
They're like putting him down for crowd sleep. Like, so where's the rest of my crew? Yeah, about that.
Crew? Just crew?
Hey.
No, her.
But yeah, that's the only part I think is funny. Having done some time in education for a little bit, was that's the plot point. Is like they just found this teacher with a PhD in whatever the hell just to go out and go to space. But it's a movie. There's supposed to be some of those silly things and whatnot, but the performances, again, I think Ryan Gosling, dude, he's really trying to stack up the trophy case, bro. He's really getting after it and trying to get some hardware, bro. He's taking on some big projects, and I love it. Also, just like the range of this guy is kind of crazy, you know? Like you go from like a Blade Runner to like Barbie to now back to this is more kind of semi-comedic and all that kind of stuff. And obviously, you know, his like track list is just getting crazier by the minute ever since The Notebook, you know?
Oh yeah.
So that really, like, good for him and all that kind of stuff, for sure.
Right on. The next trailer we're getting to. Now, this one, I watched the original recently just because I wanted to kind of get in the zone for it. Very campy, very 80s. But The Running Man, starring Glen Powell, they kind of updated the story plot a little bit. It's not necessarily a game location or venue, but he is being tasked with escaping for 30 days anywhere in the world he wants to go, but there are people hunting him to kill him, and if he survives, he wins the game. This trailer seemed very exciting, very off the walls, bonky. I'm very excited to see it. The cast: Glen Powell, Katie O'Brien, Coleman Domingo, Josh Brolin, Lee Pace, Michael Cera, William H. Macy. This movie has something going for it. Directed by Edgar Wright. I am very excited to see this movie now, just based off of the trailer alone, just because of how crazy it seems. It's kind of like Total Recall-esque in a way, like the stylized version of it. And a little more updated current, but what did you guys think of the trailer?
Very fun, very kind of hectic. I think I don't know if y'all had this feeling because maybe I just wasn't like the biggest fan of the original Running Man. I can't recall it being this. I don't know why.
So
I was like,
it was more of like criminals were either sentenced to like the game or they were put into something else.
That is what I remember, because I kind of remember it being more along the lines of like, I forgot what that one Stone Cold movie was where they got sent to that island or whatever.
The Condemned or something?
Yeah. Like that's what I remember the original Running Man being. So then when I saw this one, I was kind of like, oh, like an interesting new twist on the whole idea.
So I'm not too sure because I know this is based off a Stephen King novel. I don't know if this one is, but I think they mentioned that this is supposed to be a little bit more in line with the book of what it was. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense. It kind of then went on to this whole like thing where like people are like, would you do it? Like, would you take on the challenge and all this other stuff because of if you're protecting your family or whatever? Yeah. So it's really interesting. I agree with you. There's so much in there that I would like the Katie O'Brien thing. Like that was super. I didn't even know that she was in the cast in the first place. Looked really, really fun. I think Glen Powell's this is like going to be a make or break for me with Glen Powell a little bit, because I do want to see a little bit of like the manic stuff, but I also really want to see like his like, back and forth range stuff with him in this one. Because we've kind of seen him be like the cocky whatever dude, cocky good looking dude, and whatever other things he's been in. So this for me feels like something where, not like quite literally everything that he's in. But it's always kind of a similar ilk. So I want to see him do something a little bit different. This is his chance to maybe get to like the Gosling era, like Jay just kind of talked about. So will be interesting to see. Also going to say that Josh Brolin forever is Thanos. Gosh, it's so hard hearing his voice like in this, and I'm just like, oh, okay, so Thanos is sending you on this crazy game thing. So,
oh yeah,
sounds wonderful, and I can't wait
to watch the trailer
to see the trailer.
Oh no!
Why did I know? It's
he said one, man. He meant two, is what he meant.
Anywho, that'll do it for our trailer reviews. We got a couple things that we wanted to review in general. Gentlemen, did you guys see Squid Games season 3?
Damn right.
No, I did not watch Squid Games.
Okay.
I'm not a Squid Games guy. I didn't watch the first.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't watch it, see, so it doesn't matter.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, Keone, what did you think of season 3?
I thought it ended horribly.
I agree.
I had also seen that on the internet. Everybody was so upset.
Gosh.
Yes.
Yeah, that was. I literally told Bianca, I was like, there was no satisfaction with the last episode whatsoever. All these great little storylines and things that I thought, okay, maybe this will pan out. Maybe this will be the super team that finishes this whole thing. Nope, none of that.
Maybe the biological father will just man up and protect everyone. No.
Wow, no. Yep.
Dirtbag.
Even that. There was no, that's why I said there was literally
just a
no,
dirtbag.
just nothing. The only happy ending was for the main bad guy.
CGI baby, the whole season.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was, on top. Yeah, everything else. I mean, maybe they just didn't want him to be a part of all the bloody violence that was going on around him, but yeah, I mean, they set it up really good. The twist at the end of the season 2-ish thing, I thought was going to be really cool. And then season 3 was just such a letdown. Like, I don't know if they just literally made it to be I just felt like they had no direction. Maybe they set it up purely to set up the American one. Also thought it was really, really weird seeing this sort of cameo and then them having her in there. But she was, I don't know. The best way to describe it is she acted like she was in a Korean show. You know what I mean? Like the little, and then I just felt like that was super Korean version of what, you know what I mean? Not that I'm saying the show was great, so it made sense, but it's just one of those things where I thought, okay, if they're crossing it over to the American thing, maybe she'll be wearing I don't know, everything was terrible. I did not enjoy the ending to it.
Why English dub, English actors?
Okay, so that was a thing, right?
So apparently one of the kind of long-haired guy with the gold mask,
okay,
he commented on someone's Twitter about this English dub is so terrible. Why are they acting so bad? And the guy who actually plays the character is like, well, that's not my voice, and they English dubbed over all of us. And I was like, what? What?
That is weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say though, their acting wasn't great in general, so it still
that was so right.
Yeah, I mean, it was still pretty terrible.
We're talking 90s Power Rangers.
Yes.
Come on, guys, we gotta get active.
Was quite literally that.
It was bad.
God,
it was bad.
But it's weird because it was English dub over English speaking people, so that's why.
In my head, I get it because
weird.
I've seen some Korean dramas or Japanese dramas where they have someone who's English speaking and they make it sound very apparent that they're English speaking, just so that those from the other country can kind of follow along with it. But I was like, you guys are just so campy with this. It just your leading viewership is American or.
It was weird because it went from this. That was the weird part. Was the Korean stuff was so dramatic and then all of a sudden it literally was Power Rangers. Like when they cut to the scenes with anybody who was white in the show, it was just
oh my God, what a funny game. And I'm just like, what is going on here? Why
Player
why
222 is back.
I know, like,
Like,
oh
really?
my gosh,
Really?
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Like, what are we doing here, guys? What are we doing? Huh?
Cheers.
Yeah, I'm fervently on that train of like, man, this was not the way that the show was so great. You had all these great moments, you had these great just emotional death scenes, and then you just fumbled the ending. So
Yeah.
this is why I refuse to watch Game of Thrones, because everybody that I know did not like the ending. So I don't want to even get to that point where I'm like so emotionally invested and then it just
I would
drops
say
the ball
the
for
ending
me.
of Game of Thrones in proportion to the show compared to this ending was definitely way better than Squid Games.
Well, that okay. Well, that's not a high bar to set. So I'm just saying.
But yeah,
This is probably
it just
one of the worst endings to a great show. I've
didn't
ever
really
seen.
make sense. You had the whole thing with the leader's brother still trying to find the island just for the island to blow up, and he doesn't even get any sort of resolution.
There was no payoff. Yeah, exactly. And like the money, I guess. Well, he gets paid. Cool.
Oh yeah.
But then I was also kind of
The
mad
whole
that
point
I
was
was
to
like,
find your brother. Like,
and there was no. It wasn't like, oh, hey, I'm gonna share this with the two friends that I made. Like, there was none of that part. So I was just like, oh, so you're just an a-hole who took all the money and ran. Like, what?
Yeah.
And then he has a baby now. Like, I don't know. The whole ending was so dumb. Oh man,
I was
Yeah.
very disappointed. Yeah.
very disappointed.
Well, they
Yeah.
gave us a little sneak peek of what's to expect in the American version because Kate Blanchett decided to appear and I guess be a part of the American way of
I
it.
did also see they want the showrunner wants Leonardo DiCaprio to be like in the cast, which I was just like,
if
they
you
got
get
Kate
a
Blanchett
Leonardo-
and Leo as the main guy, especially like that kind of how the way the main guy acts. I was like, hey yo,
I don't think I've ever seen him in a TV show. So let's see if he actually decides to
I
do
was
that.
like, this might be
The greatest
the Office
show
reboot.
ever.
You know what I mean?
Anywho, yeah, disappointing. Not really a fan
Very
of it.
disappointing.
But we'll kind of see how the American version pops off on it. But another review I believe that all of us have seen, IronHeart episodes 4 through 6.
Damn
Now,
Yes.
we'll get into the specifics of it. I will say, because obviously I was someone who was okay with, was fine with the first 3 episodes. I
He
thought
hated it.
in some ways these episodes were better. But the only issue I had was there was a lot of plot armor. You know, like, oh, don't worry, we have a witch-knowing person or, you know, the magic spells and everything in our friend group. They can lead you to this. They'll show you how this goes. Oh, you need to build a new suit? Build it out of this old classic car. You can do it that way. I felt like it was very, very convenient for some things. I still think the acting was good. I think that the introduction of Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto, I really liked his interpretation or rendition, I guess you could say, of that. But I did want to get your take first, Keone, and then I'll kind of let Jalen go into it.
Honestly, I didn't have the same qualms as you. I mean, for those at home, and you'll see it if you're watching this on YouTube. But I was like, for those at home, I turned away because I didn't agree with the takes. But yeah, I mean, I felt like, yeah, there was plot armor. Yeah, there could have been stuff that maybe they could have finagled into a different. I also have that mindset of like, there are certain projects that like I'm going to slide the pass for as far as like those specific things because of where it fell in the universe and how things have kind of played out within the MCU thus far, especially because they seemingly have to pigeonhole themselves into like kind of putting things together and making it fit into the world, the larger MCU world, which obviously this one will actually have implications for the larger MCU world. So yeah, so I gave it that pass. To be honest, like there was nothing really that stood out to me that was like super jarring. I really enjoyed the acting from all of the cast, specifically Anthony Ramos. I thought he was freaking fantastic in this one. And then, of course, yeah, I agree with you. Sacha Baron Cohen to me was like a great, cool, kind of what you want to see out of him. You know what I mean? Being Mephisto,
Jumping
like
from accent to accent, and like just being
I
kind
thought
of like
that was such a cool part of his character, and I think that having him be able to use his sort of weird comedic stuff that he does outside of this.
People forget how actually good of an actor Sacha Baron
Exactly.
Cohen
That's what I was just about to say. But like him turning it into just how good of an actor he is, to me was, I mean, it was really, really cool to see his iteration of Mephisto. I really, really like that he's taking on that character into his own way and really, really made it his own. So, yeah. And then, of course, Riri Williams herself, like, I feel like she did fantastic. Like, I think the whole show, having her be the central character for it, like, none of it ever felt like it was out of place. It wasn't like
the one thing I did like was through this series was the continued use of her trying to figure out how to overcome her grief, which is, you know, buying into the fact that, like, yeah, to overcome my grief, I need to create an AI of, or not need to, but like, yeah, I created an AI of someone that I miss. And then it's kind of them juggling with that as the show goes on. And we'll talk about the ending, of course, but continue.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I was like, just to throw on to there, yeah, she did fantastic carrying the storyline all the way through. So, yeah, I mean, all things told, I'm going to give this one a thumbs up. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Like, I would go back and rewatch it if I ever have some time to, you know, do that, because there's so much other content dropping all over the damn place right now. But, yeah, I was like, enjoyed it.
Jalen.
Fantastic. Love the series. I think the last 3 episodes brought everything home. And yeah, bro, we have like Mephisto just casually getting dropped into the MCU. Like, this is such a monumental character. And like, we're just dropping him in Ironheart and just not saying a word.
Did you guys see the screen still of the spoon clip?
Yes! I paused the show because I was like, wow!
That was dope.
There he is, my boy. That means like a whole litany of other things can open up now that he's simply like existing. And Sasha, obviously, he didn't just get signed just for Ironheart. There's, you know how contracts work. So clearly there's some other stuff getting cooked up. That means Ghost Rider's probably coming back. We're doing some Midnight Suns things. Obviously, that helps Blade get fast-tracked a little bit faster because now one of those major characters can be implemented into the MCU. And like the Black Knight stuff that we had teased in Eternals, like all that kind of stuff is on the table now that Sacha Baron Cohen is doing the role of Mephisto. I think, obviously, I mean, that was like the big boom news, but I think there was also still enough room where like I did walk away from this feeling like Riri Williams can just step in and be a character that no one's going to question on like how or why she is how she is. And I'm interested to see if we get a movie figuring out what she's doing with Mephisto and all that kind of stuff, because
I thought that was a very interesting take at the end to have her give in to her grief and actually be like, yeah, I'll make the deal because I miss my friend Natalie.
Correct. And I think that's the plot. That's going to be the plight of a young teenage girl getting, you know, trying to just figure life out and have this moment come up where she has to make a hard choice like that. And I'm tired of like the criticism of like her as a character at this point in her hero's journey.
Yeah.
Like, but there is a lot though on like the negative reviews of the series. That's why it's only gotten like a 74 or 75. Like, they're like, well, she's supposed to be set up as a hero, but then she does like the worst things possible by like making a deal with the devil and stealing and doing all these things. I was like, yeah, she's a kid, bro. Like, Tony didn't do anything better. He built a suit in a cave and then murdered like 5,000 people in Iraq because fun.
Let's
I don't
keep in
know.
mind,
Like,
she, like, you know, from the third party view of it, like, if you were in the same situation, you don't know that he's virtually the devil. You just think he's someone who can help you with what you need.
Or he's trying to take advantage. I mean, she doesn't have those logical parts go in. Like, she's just like she's literally just operating on fight or flight pretty much from the start of the show to the end of the show.
In some cases,
if you think about it.
Fight and flight, if you know what I mean.
Fight and flight. Because, like, she gets kicked out of school, point one, for doing the Wakanda thing, and then she's literally on the run from that. She flies and tries to take the suit home. It breaks. Then she's stressed out over that. She tries to put the suit back together, and then she ends up kind of going down memory lane with Xavier and remembering Natalie and all these things, and she's trying to build the Wakanda AI, but it doesn't go right, so then that gets all messed up. Then she turns to the Hood, gets wrapped up with all of that, trying to, like, basically double cross the Hood at any point in time that she can. So, like, there's never really a break for her character to really go through anything except for just constant fight or flight responses. So, like, when a teenager is going to be put in that situation, like, all logic goes out the window. So, of course, she's going to take a deal with the devil. Are you kidding me? Like, I would take that deal with the devil because it's like, Jesus, maybe I'll finally get a break, get what I want, and finally get moving forward with the things that I want to get moving forward on. So yeah, I do think it's going to be interesting to see how that resolution comes about with Natalie's character. I think she was, or Riri's character. I think she was done really great, and I appreciate that actress's performance. Like I said, I loved her in Wakanda Forever. I thought she was great in that film, and I wanted more of her. Mm-hmm. And I think this show did exactly that. It gave us a nice little insider peek of what happened after that. This is her kind of origin story of where she's going. And I think hopefully if they can get the Armor Wars project off the ground, where maybe she does get to meet Don Cheadle, and I think his character of Rhodey is going to be a critical meet for Riri, because I think that's the bridge that she's missing right now, is that person that's really going to be able to like kind of talk her through some of the things that Tony did as Iron Man and like those kinds of things and what that means. Yeah, she does need something of that nature. She doesn't have to be completely independent of it. And I think, just there is always going to be that comparison of like, why are you trying to be Tony Stark? And she's not, you know what I mean? Like he very clearly invented the energy part of it that she never did. Right. Like that's why her stuff's never going to work, because she doesn't know how to make the same technology that powered the suit as Iron Man. Like once he figured out how to do the, oh my God, I'm blanking on it right now. Anyway, the stuff that kept him alive, the energy reactor technology, arc reactor. Mm-hmm. That's what the gap is between her and Tony. Like she never figured out the arc reactor, but she also made a fully functioning suit that didn't require the arc reactor. So some could argue maybe Riri's is a bit more efficient.
No, she just used magic to keep its power supply going.
She did use magic, but I mean the suit did function prior
let me
to
ask
her
that
adding
though.
the
I don't know
magic.
if you have a lot of prerequisite on her actual comic book source material. Is that a thing where she uses magic to imbue her suit?
I think like for an issue, but like part of her genius was that she could make the suit without the arc reactor.
Gotcha.
That's like the whole bit with Riri Williams. Like that's her next level tier of like, I like Tony's suit. I like the idea of having the Iron Man suit, air quote, but like I think we can get it done without the arc reactor. And I think the part about adding her dad's car into it for her like big hero suit was really cool. It kind of justified and made more sense than when she just showed up in Wakanda in the red suit. Like that was kind of random. So it added another layer to the character of like bringing it back home to like her being just a great inventor. So also loving that we've had like both Han Solo actors enter the MCU in the same calendar year. Is that not like crazy to anybody else?
Shout out
I thought he was my like, Yes. He was my big surprise and almost second favorite character of the entire show.
I'm just going to reset your system. How? I'm going to kick you in the nuts. Like, what?
Correct. Like,
yeah,
like absolutely correct. Bang. No, I thought his performance was really good. And I liked that they tied that back into Tony a little bit. And I think there's plenty of skeletons in that closet that either A, they didn't leave they left it for her, or they didn't really expand enough and give enough to Peter to take over, since that was kind of their goal, was to have him be like the, Iron Man Jr. there for a while. So if they weren't going to give that to Tom Holland and Peter's character, giving it to Riri Williams of like having to deal with Sebastian Stan's son and all this other kind of stuff, there's plenty of other backlog of those skeletons that Tony could have left in the current MCU for her to deal with as IronHeart. So I'm interested to see what all that turns into, though. I do love that we got Mephisto, because that turns into, again, so many other things that he puts his little devilly fingers into in the MCU and makes so many problems for all these heroes. Like, that is a substantial character to just drop in a Disney Plus series. And I don't know if the world is really understanding how significantly crazy that is, that Sacha Baron Cohen, A, crushed the little performance that he had, but like, B, how big a character that is coming into the MCU, especially with the X-Men on the way. Like, yeah, we about to get into some crazy stuff if they really want to push the envelope, my guys. Like I'm telling you, give it a Google. Like, dude is nuts. So
I'm ready for it. I also love the line. It's like, Dormammu, he's not fit to clean my asshole. I was like,
correct. Correct.
Yeah, but yeah, I definitely thought the last 3 episodes were an upgrade for me. I am interested to see where they go with this character, if it's going to be in another season, or if maybe they tie it into, Doctor Strange 3, including the magic mystics and everything, or whoever knows, whatever could happen.
I think that's where it's going, because this was a mini-series entitled. They didn't sign a season 2.
Charlize Theron was supposed to be like the daughter of Dormammu, right?
Yeah, or
and
something crazy like
bring
that.
those two war. I don't know, but we'll find out hopefully soon.
Midnight
Most
Suns.
likely after Avengers, though.
I can tell you it's going to deal a lot with the Strange Academy, so that friend of Riri's that was in the film is going to be probably weaved in there.
Oh.
So we'll get some Dormammu, we'll get some Charlize Theron, her buddy will show up, and then probably we'll bring Riri in now that she's dealt with Mephisto and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Yes, so that'll be fun. The Strange Academy stuff is interesting. It's not like top grade, not any of my like.
But I mean,
favorite things
if we
from
get
Doctor
some,
Strange,
some tangible
it's okay.
things out regarding it, I'll be hyped for that as well.
Yeah.
But I think that'll do it for us here on this segment of post credits. We had a lot of things that we had to cover for the 2 weeks that we missed, but we will be back at you next Friday. Yeah, Friday, to give you another segment. Gentlemen, any last thoughts?
Excited.
Right on.
Up and away.
We are
go
going
see
to
some Superman.
Going to see some Superman, so keep an eye out for our Superman spoiler review. But all in all, thank you guys for making us a part of your day. We enjoyed having you be a part of ours. From all of us here at Point Soy, good vibes and love, everybody.
Bang, bang.
Doses.